Welcome back. A powerful painkiller has been given the green light by the FDA for the use in some pediatric patients as young as 11 years old. OxyContin has a reputation of being highly addictive. So is this the right way to go, or is it too dangerous? Joining us now for a debate is psychiatrist and Fox News contributor Dr. Keith Ablow. Also joining us is the author of Sheer Madness, Andrew McKenna. He's also a veteran Marine Corps officer and former Justice Department prosecutor and recovering Oxy addict. Nice to see both of you this morning. Andrew, I want to start with you. You disagree. You think this is a bad move. Why?
Well, it's a terrible move. It's another example of Big Farm trying to find new customers, and they're targeting this now to preteens and teens, the most vulnerable group probably in our society in terms of addiction to opiates and often leading to the use and abuse of heroin. We know this. It's an epidemic in our country. And nobody's asking the question, were doctors clamoring prior to Thursday's announcement for more powerful drugs for preteens?
That's a good question for a doctor that we have on the show. Doctor, were doctors clamoring for more powerful drugs for preteens? And what about the point that he makes that just how addictive these drugs can be?
Well, listen, Clayton, intense chronic pain is absolutely something for which doctors need new weapons. And yes, there are some potential addiction issues here, but 11 and 12-year-olds hitting the street to buy heroin, I don't think so. With all due respect to Attorney McKenna,
listen, we know.
Let me just finish.
We know what
you
happens.
don't need to jump in. You need to let me finish.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll let you go because I'm the professional here. So you go right ahead.
Okay. Well, this is the reality, doctor, and we know that middle school students are bringing in prescription drugs that they typically get from this medicine cabinets prescribed by doctors. Now, I don't know if psychiatrists prescribe OxyContin or not. I'm not aware of that. But I've certainly withdrawn from OxyContin. I was 30 years old when I was...
But you also bought heroin on the streets. You broke the law many times, didn't you?
That's absolutely true. And you can cross-examine me all you want because I wrote a book about it. And I'm also traveling the country talking to different groups about it. And I'm not just a talking head with all due respect. Okay, so that led me when the doctor said no more OxyContin. It's such a powerful drug that I had to do something.
You had to.
And
how about detoxing?
Listen.
Could you detox?
You're a layperson. You're a layperson when it comes to this.
No, I'm a psychiatrist.
Doctor, I want you to take the floor.
Unfortunately, you've never experienced the reality and the pain of OxyContin,
I go through it with patients all the time.
Addiction.
But in any case,
gentlemen, I had a chance when I was a reporter in West Virginia to cover the OxyContin epidemic down there and interviewed OxyContin addicts, and it was a horrible, horrible time to watch these addicts go through this. Doctor,
it's terrible.
Answer that specific question about these young kids getting access. And that's where a lot of these kids that I interviewed in West Virginia were getting access to these drugs.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you know, it's all well and good until it's your kid. And if you have a child with complex regional pain syndrome or cluster headaches or cancer, you'd be asking the doctor, can you relieve my child's suffering? It's very nice for Attorney McKenna to come up here and say, listen, I was addicted to heroin. Listen, I'd like to hear your life story before the addiction to heroin and some of the factors that may have led to that emotionally. Bottom line is, it's all well and good to talk public policy, but when your kid is the one who can't cope, who's suffering with unbearable pain, Big Pharma is your friend. It's very nice to paint them with black hats and say they're awful, but you know what? They cure illnesses. These people aren't devils. These are entrepreneurs who cure illnesses, and you're doing them a disservice.
Andrew, I'll give you the final word. What if it was your kid that had this chronic pain?
Well, the fact of the matter is there are other ways to treat pain, and Dr. Ablow knows it. There currently fentanyl patches are available for children.
That's another opiate.
If it's highly monitored and in careful situations, then I think the prescription would be okay. But I think it would have to be in a hospital setting or a hospice setting, and either that or parents are going to have to be very involved in their children's lives and make sure that they don't fall into the wrong hands.
Dr.
That's
Ablow,
the reality.
Dr. Ablow, quick final word.
Quick final word is, you know, public policy is great, but personal experience is important too. Don't disempower doctors. Give them the tools they need. Let them make their decisions.
If they're responsible,
is not a bunch of jerks. They approve this.
If they're responsible doctors.
Fascinating debate, gentlemen. We appreciate it. I'd love to hear. Thanks, Dr. Ablow. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate you joining us this morning.